JDG that will help them win the skirmishing power there. So what I'm expecting is everything we've seen from BLG, even if you go back to 2024, get bot priority, invade.
Pre-game, this was the plan for BLG, to get early lane prio, to transition that into a Pantheon invade, and now a flash from HongQ does force flash out of Knight. Shun's in the mid lane as well. Flash from him to maybe take out this Ahri early on. One more auto will do it, and first blood goes to Shun, despite the bot lane priority that we saw earlier. Shun is using that to just continue clearing the jungle, move himself ever closer to level 6 for Pantheon.
I think so far what we have seen from BLG in this playoffs, and maybe
so far from Shun, not nearly so much on the objectives, and the trade of sides, we could ever see that pivot. Knight and Shun gonna back right off into the river, likely securing Scuttle, and perhaps a little bit more as Shun does refocus on Void Grubs. This appears to be uncontested by JDG on the opposite side of the map.
This is gonna be, I think, really big for just the top side in general. BLG have been having prio mostly toward themselves across this, so now it's just gonna make it that much more consequential. But also, I mean, when you've got champions like the Pantheon being able to throw down that Grand Starfall, if you can get a kill, just take Vi deeper and deeper into the weeds with that cease and desist and make it more difficult for the rest of JDG to actually follow up. So we could see that in this team fight. Whoa!
That goes over the wall between worlds pumped, and he's out. And he's out.
Yeah.
Of the game. So I feel like just the more important aspect of this match is this.
GALA separated from the team, but now just rejoining them. Shun goes low, but flashes away, and it will just be On that falls. HongQ following up on Shun, but it's going to get stunned in response. Maybe taken down. Flash forward from Vampire does secure the kill for HongQ, but Viper's looking for a little bit more. Looking to answer back for BLG, and he will find Vampire. Knights arrived as well, making this dragon that we talked about as being also important that much more difficult.
Can't miss smite fights if you never start the objective with the enemy jungle there.
Big if.
There we go.
Objective tentatively tickled. JunJia wants this flash forward with the charm from HongQ, but he's immediately taken low. So is On, who goes down. GALA being focused by Shun, but there are too many members of JDG in the river, and Viper, nowhere near it, is going to have to back away. HongQ's all over him once again with the Spirit Rush, and will take him out, giving GALA a double kill in this fight, and JDG, the dragon.
Setup be damned. I mean, JunJia was so tanky in that fight. He was in the middle of BLG, and they just couldn't burst him down. The rest of the JDG members are free hitting in that fight. BLG are all...
Especially for JDG, who do rely a lot on the HongQ JunJia combination, specifically JunJia, to be calling for when to take engagement. This easily another is On is positioned illegally.
So is so is Shun. I mean, he's got nowhere to run, no ultimate, no flash, no nothing.
Cease and desist comes down, and honestly, the Pantheon will go down as well. HongQ collects another kill, but it very quickly has become
He's going to have to be the big difference maker if we're going to see them have a real fighting chance at this third dragon.
Here's the overloading sides that we talked about.
Xiaoxu underneath the tower, not going to save him. He goes down. Maybe a bit of this comfort from JDG wrenched away just now. Still the majority of vision in this side belonging to them, and GALA feels comfortable taking the fight with what he thought was Viper, but turns out to be On. Pop Blossom takes him down. Shun claims the kill, and now is a BLG favored fight as they get another teleport, matching HongQ's in from Knight. Over the wall with the cease and desist. Bin gets aggressive, still hovering on low HP as Shun takes to the front lines with Knight. Viper claiming a kill, a double going to Knight, and BLG manufacture fights just in time for the dragon.
Everyone, please say thank you, On. An incredible bait. Will give them the gold and the respite that they're looking for.
Wait, hang on.
3 members of JDG all piled in here for this pick. JunJia starts it off, but doesn't connect with the Vault Breaker. Charm's going to land. Bin half HP, and Bin taken down. So a nice pick.
Super strong, though. You have 2 items. During that play, that was a flash onto Vampire. He no longer has that. That was On looking for it. They're going to pick off Xiaoxu again, and this is perfect for the Dragon Timer.
Let's see how much actually gets answered here as, well, Xiaoxu does go down. JDG really don't.
Knight spots that out, so nothing available.
they're not. I hope they can get at least these plates, because right now BLG are nowhere near a Dragon Soul, right? Like we
right.
Functionally speaking, we're not super close to getting to a soul at this point. So what are we gonna do? Let's get gold on side lane. Let's try to match some of this gold. HongQ getting an entire turret and 2 plates is really nice. But
yeah,
who's killing the 3-item in Bessa with Merc Treads and Death Stance? GG.
Big
On the mid wave, they completely call off the dive. So now you're going to be missing some summoner spells. No flash for Shun going into this dragon.
Teleport.
This is a full pick as well with the teleport behind, like you mentioned.
Wow.
Ben has already almost solo killed JunJia. Knight's here to finish the job. JunJia flashes away, but it will not save him. Knight secures the kill, and it's numbers favored for BLG as Ben goes super deep and falls. Pop Blossom hits nothing, but BLG, they just keep going. Xiaoxu gonna escape, but it's a double kill for Knight as he flashes over the wall. HongQ gonna have to burn the Spirit Rush to get out of here, and JDG, they come up hands empty.
BLG are bloodthirsty in this fight, flashing forward, looking for more blood, looking for more.
One in this fight. It is GALA, instantly dead, no recompense, and now we're going to another dragon, which JDG want to fight.
Old timings, especially Pop Blossom not being there, doesn't seem to actually keep them from this objective as mid lane tier 2.
BLG looking to tighten their grip around this game now that the threat of Soul is there. Ben, Grand Star.
Whoa!
Also coming in. We're just throwing out our ultimates for as BLG. It's target practice here. They're just onto the Baron.
BLG do call that this is a possibility, but a little bit of damage from HongQ does keep
Viper
honest in his positioning. JDG, they get this Baron, and the punish on, we'll call it the Grand Star.
I love that HongQ and JunJia are bouncing between these waves in Fog of War. This is an important stretch of time where they're getting gold back for themselves. Wow.
Execution, though. I mean, HongQ and JunJia just sit there watching it. Pop Blossom catches them both, but able to survive just long enough. Maybe JDG are able to turn this fight. GALA's here, and GALA's free firing popped into the GA. We've got another chance at life for Shun, but even that not going to save him as JunJia collects the kill. JDG buy enough time to turn that fight around.
Yeah, JDG, really good response from the collapse there by the rest of BLG. Managed to break up, potentially punished, but he does have Guardian Angel. He is still so tanky.
Oh, JunJia's in a massive flank.
Oh boy.
But Ben feels comfortable just taking the fight to GALA on his own. Does find the public execution, but GALA is out of there with a flash. Vampire low and Pop Blossom will go down as now the fight refocuses on Xiaoxu. Shun, though, never lost his eyes on GALA, flashing on top of him and turned the fight for BLG. Viper now the only AD carry left standing, and he is standing tall, collecting the kill onto
into the heart of GALA. BLG stab and strike first in the best of 5.
This is a big win for BLG, being able to turn this around from a game that JDG was reclaiming. The series may be close, but in the team fights, it wasn't that close. BLG, they find the win.
And I think we're going to have to see maybe a bit of a story of opposites here. I mean, we remarked on the priority that BLG were able to get in the bot
Shun's
lane.
going to say, you know what, I'll take a little bit of a reprieve. Knight even drops into Fog of War, so probably going to just be a smite fight for the Gromp.
I think JunJia wins it, and actually might win a whole lot more. HongQ actually not going to be safe despite the reflect. And JunJia gets to try and tank for him, but unfortunately, no flash on Mel means that HongQ does a very sorry death.
This is tight from Shun. Dodges out on the E route from the Mel. Also dodges out on the Nami bubble. Going back to live, it looks like Xiaoxu's probably gone.
And yet, yeah, he looks so good, and yet, solo mission this. And HongQ's still battling things out. JunJia's got no support on the way. Is he going to flag and drag for a smite steal?
Steal.
He could do it. I've seen it before.
Oh!
Push forward.
Oh, no!
Misses the smite. Flags and drags into the steadfast presence. JunJia is suffering, but at least he gets an answering kill. GALA's here as well, and he picks up another. Despite not getting the dragon, 2 for 1, I will say is an acceptable amount of... It becomes all the more dire, say, for BLG. First Enchanted Crystal Arrow, headed out towards the mid lane. No rebuttal left, and Knight gets a free stun off this as well. That was a nice arrow, that's all I gotta say.
Not a great trajectory. JDG are gonna have to try and correct that. We can see JunJia is gonna try.
No.
Does have Cataclysm, uses it to dodge the Encore for now, but it's a 4v3 in the bot side, favoring JDG. HongQ's teleported down, Knight unable to match. And GALA will collect yet another kill.
I'm chasing them out of the pit, but I'm struggling to see that from them. So JDG gonna give it the first 2 dragons in the game.
Though.
Oh.
JunJia doesn't get into the pit and will secure dragon for BLG. Disengaged from JDG.
He's going!
JunJia, however, does flash forward. Flag and drag not going to connect. Flash Encore from Ondo catches 2. Steadfast Presence protects the back line. But GALA's walking forward. Xun in the back line does manage to collect a triple kill. And now GALA, who walked forward, is all alone. It is another kill to BLG. This one going to On, but it is disaster for... I don't know how I'm feeling about
all right.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, good deal. We've got a dive going on top side. Bit disjointed from BLG,
don't
if
ever
I'm
wait.
honest, but Xiaoxu's not feeling great about it either way. Still incredibly low on this
What
chase.
the?
but
Whoa,
Bin
whoa,
walks through the
whoa.
tower, and we are a bit deep in the sauce right now, as is JunJia, who cataclysms onto 2 completely isolated members as Knight collects the double kill. Things could
they
be
just
going
made
better,
2
and
plays.
I think that's cope.
They just played 2 different sides of the map. They made a play on mid lane. Knight kills GALA, gets the second kill on the Vampire. They tried to squeeze onto Xiaoxu, and while it's not a kill...
Again, it just feels like JDG understand that in a 5v5 setting, their comp just isn't in a position to contest BLG, as now Xiaoxu's just dead on the side.
Yeah. No turret safety. And it's tough because as
Authority around this area.
Just gonna have to walk up, teleport for JDG. They are throwing everything into this fight, and GALA
Here goes On.
not even gonna be there. He gets yeeted right out.
Oh!
Flash,
Hey, there we go.
And the Encore just sends a huge CC chain the way of JunJia. You don't have an ADC, you don't have a jungler, you don't have a dragon, and somehow things are getting worse as GALA has to flash after the dragon take simply to survive. Bit of a mental reset needs to be had, be it in this game, be it after this game. JunJia is going for something on the bot side, and Bin, to JunJia's credit, may very well go down. But Knight's here immediately afterwards, and JDG have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Xiaoxu does flash on top of Knight. Heal comes through, saving Knight's life, and now it's a 4v2 in the favor of BLG bot side. To their credit, as the double kill goes over to Xun, JDG do get a little bit of access to the mid lane. Grab another plate, if not the whole tower. I don't think it'll be the whole tower.
I like this.
Ult.
HongQ, execute. We're
Sure.
good.
Wait, if BLG get nothing else after this, we just got Knight's flash. On's not going to have flash for this dragon, and we just got ourselves a couple of kills as well as objective bounties.
Get that under control. And yeah, BLG, I think, understand the importance of that mid lane tier 1, and they have sent Viper and On to patrol the area, keep control of that mid lane priority, and not allow JDG to claim that turret.
You have to worry about JDG's front line as well. No flash on JunJia, who's getting engaged on. Slammed into the wall and Enchanted Crystal arrowed. This Cataclysm is a Hail Mary to get out. HongQ's here to try and save his jungler, but it's not going to work. A recall will fortunately keep Xiaoxu alive, but BLG, having picked off the jungler, they're already topside. You know what time it is.
Okay, teleport's coming in from Xiaoxu on the mid wave. He'll have the teleport shield, but aside from that, this is what JDG Comps wants to do. Trap them on the objective and just poke.
Bin's almost mega. He gets to play a huge front line right now. Xiaoxu's the only one with real access into the pit. 4K left on the Baron, and JDG have to give this one up for lost. The BLG play around Baron is too clean for them right now.
And you can see Knight as well is going to try and defend the turret here. GALA's going to walk up and just auto it. Good decision there.
Walk in?
Are they going to give this up? BLG, they might just be willing to play with the Baron, but a lot of flashes. Remember, no flash for Knight.
Oh! Reflect. We're all good. We're all good. Rebuttal comes out. GALA, however,
Oh!
very low. And gets caught by the
Bin's not
Encore.
mega!
Insta-cleanse, though. Tries to turn things around onto Bin, but he loses his support in the process. Vampire's down. Another 4v5 in the favor of BLG. They got a Seraphine in all this poke as well, which you're really starting to feel the impact of now with JDG behind and on, keeping BLG up. It's feeling rough.
Oh, he's going for it. Come on, JunJia.
Nope.
Well, that's the game, folks. That's going to be a Hextech Soul. That's going to be BLG. Even with some of their members dying on the back end here, HongQ is going to put some final fancy feet before BLG take care of him. What? Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! It was cool, though. You got a kill.
It was
Yup.
cool. I agree. I totally agree. It looked cool. It made me feel like my blood pressure rose a little bit, but now I'm back down. I'm at resting heart rate right now. 8,000 gold lead, a bot turret, a mid turret. I gotta say, guys, I know we're only 2 games into this series, but I think Shun has been spectacular so far in these 2 games.
And especially from the response because of how this game started, right? He got cheesed level 1, or level 2 rather, on his...
Just don't have a leash to put on anybody. Like, you try and
A
throw...
one-sided start to the finals. We're almost 2-0 basically at this point in the game. With the gold lead that they have, 10,000. Gotta ask, historically speaking, JDG are gonna have to break big mentals here. Never, ever has the team from the lower finals, after going into the uppers, ever won the LPL. This would be a massive turnaround, and with where it's looking, we might even have to get a reverse sweep here in the grand finals.
Yeah. It would mean, I think, a lot for these JDG members to be able to lift the trophy. I think a lot of people think to HongQ and JunJia, the big star imports of the LPL, kind of coming in with a lot of expectations and being able to match those. I think
it is about rising above expectations. BLG, to lose today would be to fall short of what they've set for themselves and what others have set for them. Engage on tonight is going to go out. Encore doesn't connect, but Knight still alive, just dealing with a Jarvan. Finally will get executed by HongQ. That not even the focus of BLG, though.
Elder!
They take the Baron in the meantime.
It's 50-second death timer, and it's also flash burned as well. JDG are in a 4v5 situation. They can look to maybe go for an Elder fight here. That's their best bet. That's their only bet.
Still 4v4. Still 4v4. BLG. Shun gets a double knock-up. Forward goes Viper. It is 1, 2. It is 3 and 4. Picked up. A double kill for Bin. And Xiaoxu shows up just in time to back to base.
I mean, you talked about it maybe being their best shot, but when you're down 12,000 gold in Hextech Soul, that's basically a pinhole when we're talking about any kind of choice there for JDG. This is going to be BLG continuing to end this game in dominant looks. 2-0 start here in the grand finals.
Another kind of cool moment as Xiaoxu does at least get to walk forward and claim a kill, but he'll have to watch as the Nexus goes down for the 2nd time in a row this series, putting Jade...
Not so bright. I think that the Talia HongQ has been really good in the laning phase with this champion, but as far as effectiveness with the Weaver's walls, I think that he has been lacking in that.
Yeah, the 2v2 is extremely difficult. Even when On gets all his spells up and available, you're still playing into Kog'Maw Lulu, and if you ever go in, boom, you're getting polymorphed. JunJia.
He's alone. Nobody is really close to Shun. JunJia could just continue this trade, but now On is on the way, and so is Viper. Flash heal from On keeps Shun alive, and JunJia struggling for a way out. Does have HongQ on the way as well. JDG actually managed to collapse and save their jungler from Mission Impossible. On low. This could be first blood. This could be huge. Vampire collecting first blood. Bit odd, but it's big.
Giving gold to them, I think, it sometimes trumps giving gold to either your mid laner or even your bottom laner in some instances. If Lulu gets to her Enchantress items even sooner, I think this game is completely busted. What the hell, Bin? I mean, sure, you got the wave in, but Sion's going to get the next wave. It's going to push away. He's actually going to pull it.
I think that's going to be significantly reduced.
Shun showing up in the bot lane.
GALA steps
GALA and
up.
Vampire stepped a bit too far forward and On bumps him under the tower. GALA's taken 2 turret shots and is gonna go down. Viper collects the kill and BLG are back on the board 2-2.
That's a huge wave, and you just got this kill on the GALA. I mean, he sees him in Tribrush, and he takes a step 2 forward immediately. BLG pounce on that, and that is cutting away again at the win condition. Right now, JunJia's actually going to start up the Dragon. He recognizes that the enemy bot lane has to get this wave in. Probably is also expecting that Shun is going to have camps. I like this steal away. You gave up your AD carry, but still getting Dragons is kind of a win condition we've seen time and time again in this season.
Yep. JDG going to be able to claim that Drake despite the difficulties of bot lane. GALA, though, I guess a silver lining here is he is able to hold on to that flash, so still has that defensiveness in case Shun decides to revisit the area.
What?
Okay, never mind.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Add their gold and make it so that they'll have an item advantage or some kind of put their enemies at a disadvantage. JunJia's getting engaged.
Same thing's happening in the mid lane as Knight forced to flash away once again. JunJia will manage to live, actually absorbs the wild growth, but HongQ's on the way. And the 2v1 becomes a 4v1 in the favor of JDG, as HongQ does manage to translate, turning a mid lane advantage into the river. Does fall, but JunJia manages to pick up the next kill. Still an advantage trade for JDG, and something they desperately need.
I still love what we saw there. Didn't get to move. I mean, Viper, I'm pretty sure you
die.
lose this one.
GALA cannot afford to die right now. Viper flash, maybe after death, maybe Viper goes down, and she will. GALA collecting the kill in the 1-for-1, and JunJia gets to keep pushing this way to their downfall. Vampire sticking around, making sure that GALA is safe as his team goes for the Dragon, and it's going to be a Dragon uncontested for JDG, their second one of the game.
Yeah, BLG just really don't have any way to...
Vampire just having a really big performance on this Lulu.
For sure, and Vampire has to keep kind of his eyes on... We'll hang on.
Not out, and unfortunately not much that he can do on. Gonna pay for this positioning with his life. Does pop the Unbreakable Will before falling, but fall he must. JDG have complete control over the top side river, and this final Void Grub will belong to them.
And Viper, that is just a sad sight to see. It's gonna keep ballooning GALA ahead. He's not the guy that gets the kill, but now JunJia is just gonna be able to rotate up here. He's gonna patrol this tri-bush, and I feel like with the item advantages that are present, they can go for these 3v3s.
The BLG want this engaged. They've got to teleport far behind JDG, who are currently stuck in the tri-brush. HongQ is here.
Too,
it is a 4 pile-up on both sides.
There's
Everybody trying to disengage from the gravity well that Knight laid down. HongQ in the front line now. JunJia, but a teleport into the back line from Xiaoxu draws the ire of BLG and forces them to group up. Xiaoxu now flashing away. JunJia alone in the front line. He's going to go down the bump back. Actually favoring JDG for now as Shun goes for the flank. Big flash pulverize from On. Does cost him his life, however, as GALA, untouched in the back line, strikes back for JDG.
They're not going to be able to contest for this Herald. I mean, it doesn't matter that you got 2 of the grubs here for JDG. How much more can they do? GALA is still full HP. You do not have wild growth.
GALA can do this. Polymorph is big. Bin is going to go down. Last auto will do it. It's another kill for GALA. And even without a jungler, Xiaoxu rockets forward. JDG are clawing their way back into this series.
Vampire turning BLG's carries into squirrels and buffing up his own carries to allow them to win the fight.
To cancel the crash there from the Herald. It's actually a pretty big save, I think, for BLG.
Does absorb a quick wild growth as BLG look for yet another play. On really wants this, but again, is going to be left alone. That Unbreakable Will is doing basically nothing in the face of JDG. And Xiaoxu arrives, I think, just to make sure that everything stays as calm as it was.
Cool. I mean, sure. The turret ends up not going down, at least on that wave. So a bit of relief for BLG fans. They can breathe a little bit easier. You have lost the last couple fights here, and I think having to face down a 21-minute soul.
Wait, hang on.
Here, GALA.
Oh!
Oh, God, he's gone.
Yeah, I mean,
did he tank turret? This is a really late start for them. If JDG don't immediately rip this, then we can maybe have some access coming on through, but they're completely cut off.
Shun and On are grouped up together, but they've got to pull the trigger immediately. Bin goes over the wall. Dominus already popped. He finds JunJia. GALA still firing away at him from the back line, though completely untouched. On is finally going to flash and bump him forward, but GALA still has nobody else looking at him. Frontline has Xiaoxu and HongQ destroying Knight, and GALA picks up yet another kill. The Dragon, fortunately, does go the way of BLG. They stop the Soul for now. But JDG win the team fight, and they immediately look to transition that up to the Baron.
You might say that they bought themselves 5 minutes of having to wait to the Soul. I'm going to be honest here, guys. I do think that this is still not a great trade here for BLG. JDG now get to move into the Baron. They'll have that buff for 2.5 minutes. And unless there's some big heroics coming on through, there's still big questions.
No Dominus for Bin, who again gets polymorphed. JunJia flashes on him this time, isolating himself from the Baron.
JunJia, you
still
are the
hasn't finished
jungler.
off either kill. While Shun is watching the Baron go down. JunJia will collect the kill onto On, walk his way back to the Baron pit. But Shun has to be kept out of here, and you cannot risk going 50-50 on a smite.
You absolutely cannot. I mean, Shun doesn't have flash, so there's really no easy way for him to get into the pit, but he's going to try and maneuver his way. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, though. Baron should go to JDG. It was a little bit closer. I think Shun was maybe a bit too close for comfort, but still, JDG turning that fight into a worth it play. All 5 members going to be wearing purple, and this will just allow them. I think the Siege with the range on things like the
GALA out of the fight, or put GALA into a position for his team to collapse, but by giving up all of the access to your front line, now it is allowed for Knight to fall at the beginning.
It's given BLG success to get onto the back line. Hold on. Okay.
Pillar, man.
Got him. Wait, Bin is on a flank.
Gets to engage for free. Bin, remember, no flash on GALA, so he gets on top of him, but again, polymorphed again. Another kill fed into GALA. BLG commit on this time while Xiaoxu zones off the entire team, kills Viper, and sets up a double kill for GALA. This puppy cannot be stopped. JDG have collected 3 kills so far and are looking for the inhibitor, perhaps even more.
They're just going to go for the game. Please give this first pick Lulu MVP for this game. Vampire with an instantaneous cleanse from the Mikhails keeps GALA alive, and that's game number 3 going over to JDG Gaming.
Nothing that Shun and Knight can do but watch as the Nexus towers fall and as JDG start their way back into this series. GALA.
This Kiana do the pushback with the supreme display of talent, but I think JDG have all the right tools when we talk about a later game instance in this game. 3 items is scary when you have...
Jungler is bit of an awkward spot for him, and for Xiaoxu, things have not gotten a whole lot better. This is a full-on dive by BLG. Bin collects first blood, and this Gwen gets
just having access to more camps means that he's going to be a lot quicker on the play to get to level 6. Xiaoxu again.
This gets so much worse. There's no flash on this Zahen. He's just gone. It is another kill to Bin. This is going to get oppressive incredibly quickly, and flash forward for Knight. Remember, HongQ's got no egg. This could be a big difference maker so low.
Oh, no, he's dead.
Knight
No.
steps 1 step out of line.
Knight walks up a little too far. Shun is going to get zoned off by the stun.
Shun in a bit of an awkward position, as unfortunately the bot lane priority continues to go the way of JDG. Bin, again, caught the top side. Can't do too much about it. Grim Deliverance does keep him up for now, though. He's actually, hold on, teleporting out of here.
Because they are a little bit shorter range, they really want to try to take these grubs away, giving a Gwen and a Ryze the side lane. Oh.
Supreme display of talent just makes that unplayable, unfortunately. Healthy lead, and now there's no quickness on.
Yeah, so BLG not really there with the engagement, but that's not going to matter.
We just keep stepping up, and we keep going forward. Vampire will fall, but GALA answers that back, takes out Shun. And it's a quick reversal of fortunes for JDG. I mean, they do lose their support, but they took out the jungler, and we're all the way back at Dragon that JDG can absolutely snag.
Guys, and I hate to pull up an aside, but Gwen was literally fighting Xiaoxu underneath, in between the turrets here. He was completely proxy farming him as well.
JDG managed to back off. They don't get the Rift Herald, but they get bot lane tower. The first tower of the game going to Xiaoxu.
I think that's extremely expensive, and they're going to be able to hit this plate in mid. I think HongQ should still be fine. He has flash.
Knight going to be able to get away from this as well. BLG, despite getting the objective, kind of feel like they're playing on a knife's edge.
Yeah, they are really trying to squeeze as much as a lot of their damage dealers.
They see him now. Bin does have teleport. Xiaoxu is just going to walk. This is going to be a 5-on-5 for the game.
JunJia backs off, and there goes the teleport from Bin. Nobody from JDG wanting to step up to that, but a little bit of an ultimate on top of it, just to make it a little uncomfortable for BLG. This scuttle belonging to BLG is a small victory, but they need a whole lot more. GALA needs room to step up, and Knight's going on the flank, making this sort of pincer onto the JDG backline. Dragon's at about half HP. We've got a Rift Herald out, and the knockup coming down from that. Out goes the Supreme Display of Talent. Dragon goes over to BLG. On is in the backline. Double knockup, and Bin is all over it. He's snapping up GALA and shutting down JDG. Xiaoxu does manage to find a big great deliverance. Out comes the Blade Caller. But Bin chasing him down now should have no problem with his opposite number.
Okay. Yeah, that's a huge win here for BLG. Not only do they grab all of the kills on this play, they get the dragon, and they'll
BLG, I feel like it's just going to get worse with time for JDG when you're looking at the enemy team, because we're going to have the Gwen continuing to scale, we're going to have the Xayah continuing to get items and be more discussion here.
Can we just get the L3? Just put the L3 on the screen, guys. Thank you. Okay, we're talking about Knight. We're already talking about the Rise. We might have to hold this as JunJia.
Does actually get away from the Supreme Display of Talent. That is big. Big cooldown out of BLG. JDG again looking for a fight, but they don't really have the right to start one. They're engaged without JunJia moving forward. A bit lackluster, even though HongQ's doing his best.
They also have control of mid. BLG, though, they're going to look for a fight.
On does find HongQ. We've still got the availability for HongQ to live, in the hostile takeover actually buys a lot of space for JDG. GALA sends his support over the wall, finds a double knockup, but no follow-up on it. On's still getting out of this as well, and I cannot believe we trade those cooldowns and get nothing.
I love this, though. We have Dragon spawning in 2 minutes, and now look at BLG's
2 books left. He's got 2 books left.
I can't even read, so that's why I do League of Legends. We got Dragon started here. BLG are first to the play.
Remember, On no flash for this. It's going to stymie his engage options a little bit, but suppose that if BLG just kill the Dragon, it simply does not matter. JDG back right off. Dragons are evened up, and while JDG still have some decent scaling options,
attempting to overload to try and get a pick that JDG just haven't really tried it.
Maverick gets to walk up to this turret. Actually could see it fall right here. BLG managed to claim the mid lane tier 1 at 27 minutes, and that changes things for JDG in a huge way. Forced back into their own jungle, perhaps not theirs for very long, as Shun even gets to walk in here and lay down a bit of vision. Now it's BLG's control over the Baron pit.
Stands there from Viper. He notices.
On!
Knock up from On. This is big. And following that up with the Supreme Display of Talent, HongQ, even through the egg, does not get to come back. BLG pick the mid laner, and they look for more. They look for the Baron.
Yeah, Viper stood on the mid wave and forced JunJia out, made him use his flash, and now JDG are going to have to answer. Baron almost gone.
Still got hostile takeover in the pit. That can be deadly, but look at Bin walking things out, taking JunJia to half health. He's in the pit. JunJia wants the Baron, but it's too high HP. He's going to go down. And we look at the rest of JDG. We look at GALA trying desperately to make something happen, and it is for nothing. He will fall. Vampire, last alive, will be run down, and BLG, they'll pick up a delayed ace and the Baron.
Or really the damage to deal with BLG's carries at this point. It's become...
And a big...
Even now forced to give up that tier 2. I mean, the Baron is going to do some serious damage, especially into an Onivia composition.
And the big thing about HongQ, the one that kind of set him behind, is hang on, is looking for an engage.
If they win a fight here, they win the game, and that's the threat that BLG have right now. JunJia does rocket on forward, but it is just to get BLG out of their base. We have not seen the big cyclone engages that JDG need to buy space for GALA. Instead, BLG taking what they want every time.
And a big reason why HongQ really didn't have the influence that we saw from him in game number 3 was because of Knight. Knight was doing a really good job at kind of going band for band with HongQ in the laning phase, and a Knight, a player, one of the most accomplished in the LPL. A win here would be his 7th first place. An absolutely legendary stat for a legendary player that so many consider to be the GOAT of the LPL at this point in time, but still trying to reach those new heights that have never been reached before.
Wow,
so
so cute. Using the Baron with the Realm Warp to get the last tier 1 or tier 2 out.
This last bit of safety that JDG have between them and really the end of the game. JunJia getting a little desperate, is going to force the Feather Storm out of Viper, the flash out of him as well. On goes on a peel journey, but the hostile takeover connects, and it's a big kill for JunJia. Jun does come in to try and reverse things.
Knight is ending the
game.
game!
Buys time. Knight is just... He's just focused on the one thing, the win for BLG, and Bin is turning things around topside as well. Is there a place where BLG truly lose?
Maybe. They're getting the teleport back. They're going to try to end it. Gets canceled.
Wait, they canceled it!
Xiaoxu, please.
He can do this. And HongQ can clear waves, surely. No!
Knight!
He can't
God.
step up to Knight! Knight is
gonna do it?
literally ending the game!
HongQ, stop him!
There... Literally do something! Anything! Stop him! Knight! He pops the egg! And Knight, by force, will take his next title! Xiaoxu and Vampires trying to stand in his way. One more auto will do it! And with the Realm Warp for style, Knight once again crowns himself king of the LPL!